Hello everyone, Brad Johnson here. What is the nature of the soul? What is its blueprint? What is its origin? This is what we're going to discuss today in this Q&A episode of New Earth Teachings. So looking into the nature of the soul, because many of us talk about soul and spirit. Some of us also talk about the nature of mind. We can see this as a type of triad in that way. When we're looking at the soul, this is the idea of what you would consider to be your intangible personality. It's your personality complex that is, in the best way of putting it, a hybridization between the mind and the spirit. The mind represents the matrix. It is our thoughts, it is our feelings, it is everything that is contained within the field. And therefore, our soul is like the vibrational blueprint that gives us the idea of our personality, our drive, how we assign ourselves to lifetimes, to incarnations. It really is, you could say, our essence pertaining to our own characteristics, attributes, and personality. When we look at the spirit itself has no personality whatsoever. It is changeless, it is formless, it is imageless, it is pure and perfect. So it is the changeless perfection that represents the spirit, and it simply is life-giving essence. It is the essential essence behind everything that exists. It is the essential essence throughout everything in creation that we could term as life. But again, you have no personality in the spirit. You have no attributes. You have no characteristics whatsoever. You have nothing identifiable. It simply is. But our soul would have a type of personality. It is a type of body, just on what we could consider to be different realms of being, different dimensions. So there is that question of saying, well, what is the blueprint of the soul? How can we get to understand our soul a lot more? Can we tune into its light? Can we channel its light and bring it into ourselves? Closest thing to look at relating to the blueprint of your soul would be to come into alignment with your own higher self. The nature of the self, capital S-E-L-F, would be the closest approximation to understanding the nature of the soul. But the soul is everyone, it is everything. It is not just the idea of this body here, this physical presence. Everything that you see, smell, taste, touch, and hear, everything that goes beyond the physical senses, everything that's on this earth, everything that's beyond that, is like a map relating to your soul. So the soul contains a multitude of different bodies, not just the idea of the physical, the astral, the causal, light bodies, etheric bodies, etc. But the best way to look at the idea of the soul is that it is a living map of consciousness. It's a map. That's what we really are. We're a map, we're an imprint, we're a blueprint. And looking at this map of the soul, we are seeing the contingency of everything that has shaped the soul, because the soul is constantly shaping itself. It's constantly moving. It's in a state of flux. Now, it only appears that way because we go through cycles of change. As we go through cycles of change, we see how we evolve, about the type of people that we meet, the type of work that we do, the favorite things that we have, the pet peeves that we have, the type of family that we connect to, our friends, etc. All of this, again, represents this current, this constantly changing, constantly shifting, constantly flowing nature blueprint algorithm that is so vast we really just cannot comprehend it. And that is the map, that is the nature, that is the light of your soul. Of course, there comes the question, well, after I conclude this life, this physical life, what happens to my soul? Well, nothing really happens to your soul. You have to understand that this physical vessel is just an expression of soul. It is a variation, it is a version, it is a type, it is something that you're playing with, it's a characteristic. It's like looking at a honeycomb with an infinite amount of cells, and that this lifetime is just one cell among that infinite amount of cells. This is helping to understand the soul map a lot more. When you're going out of body, you're looking into different planes of reality. You're going into different dimensions. You look at something in a much more lighter perspective. Everything feels very malleable and tangible at the same time. But again, it's representing the idea that we're playing with our soul map. We're playing with our soul grid. We're playing with our soul plane, because the soul plane is every plane. One may ask, well, what dimension does the soul exist in? Every single one. Everything that represents this matrix, because the soul is its own universe. It's a universal map. It's a universal blueprint. You have your own universe. This is why I've said that you yourself are your own creator. You are the one that's creating everything as you go. It's through your perceptions. It's through your choices. When I say that you're creating, I'm not saying that you're magically manifesting a loaf of bread in your hands. That's another type of creation. But your decision to get up in the morning, your decision to dress yourself, your decision to go downstairs and make yourself breakfast, your decision to get into your car and go to work, you're creating all of that, right? That's all part of you creating as a soul. In fact, it is impossible for you not to create. Really. When we are creating, we are again making choices. We're taking actions. We're thinking. We're feeling. We're dynamic in that way. And that would be one of the best expressions of soul, is its dynamism. This living map, this living algorithm, this beautiful array of light that is completely adaptable to every form of expression that there is. For every expression is that of the soul, connected together through the matrix of the mind and the eternal, changeless, perfect essence of spirit. So when you leave this body, you are everywhere, you are everyone, and you are everything. Because there are those who get very confused when their loved ones transition from their physical body, and there's that gigantic question. Where do they go? What do they do? Where do they go? Wherever they want. What do they do? Whatever they want. The only thing that we have to understand is that when a loved one transitions, they're not out of touch with you. There's a reason why they're called a loved one. Your love bonds you together with them. Their love is bonded together with you. And you have the opportunity to communicate with that soul once they leave the body. How about us embellishing the soul's light? Going deeper into that light, deeper into that relationship, what do I do? Well, you build rapport with your own soul. You feel its light. You are observing its map. You are observing its living dynamism. And this is where we can go to the higher self, or just looking at the self, and just imagining ourselves as a perfect, complete being. For that would represent the essence of the soul, not just through the nature of image, but through its true essence altogether, that it is perfect, that it is complete. We could also see that as the nature of the Christ, that the idea of looking at the Christ light is one who knows God. A complete soul is one who realizes that they are God, that they are creator, and that they create throughout their entire universe. They create in this universe, they go to other universes. They have their own universe, truly, and they can create there. But as we start to understand and form a relationship and build a bridge with the nature of our own soul, this is what accelerates our connection to a greater state of realization that we have been this great creator all along, that we are this map, that we are this living algorithm, this blueprint of creative expression that comes to the soul as a creator. And when you are entering the state of beingness, you are observing yourself as a creator. You're simply observing yourself with everything that you have created, taking no action. So again, words really cannot define the nature of the soul. Even these words themselves are inadequate. But it's through your own journey, it's through your own intention to connect with that light, to connect with that map, to connect with the universe that represents you as sovereign creator, and that you are capable of everything, and that you are capable of being everyone and anything. This is who you are as a soul. It's not a right, it's a naturalness. It's who you are. So people who continue to explore that are ones who continue to reach higher states of realization. A realized one truly becomes creator, truly becomes a Christ, truly becomes God. So how far are you willing to take it? How deep are you willing to allow your realizations to take you to the depths of your soul, to go into this infinite honeycomb and look at all these cells simultaneously? Yes, all at once. It's your journey. It is everyone's journey, for that is the nature of the soul. Thank you very much for checking out the New Earth Teachings YouTube channel. Feel free to check out my websites, newearthteachings.com, healingcodecards.com, healingcodeshop.com. Go on to healingcodecards.com to grab your body deck and your mind deck, also available in digital versions as well. And of course, you can follow me on social media, on Facebook, on MeWe, and of course on Telegram as well. Thank you again for tuning in, and I'll speak to you again in the next video. Take care and show the way.